Alright, so it's basically time for another Night of the Dead 2017 quest run through for one of the events. So basically the event we're gonna run through, and unfortunately I may add it into a video later if somebody else does it. My characters, I mean. It's the mission called Broken Mirrors. So basically, the way you get this mission is you come to one of these different areas that has all the tombstones, and I already have the items, so that's why it's not going to show up on the ground. But around these areas is a shovel, and you pick up the shovel, and then basically what you do, and obviously that is part of the game, it's doing other things too, but basically you wake the dead, as it were, in the game. Start beating up on the, or digging, I think you're supposed to be digging, and you can either get a spirit, a monster like a snake or a undead to fight, and you get a treat here, and obviously I got another plushie. One of the things they give, I believe, and I don't know if you need the latest expansion, is a familiar. But basically, you do that enough, and eventually you'll get a forlorn spirit. You go through the dialogue, and then eventually gives it to where you got to search the city for the forlorn key, and basically it's right next to the spirit. And the easiest way to do that normally, I don't know, these people are throwing pumpkins out today, what annoying, is to find one of the guards, right click and say find NPC and just type forlorn,
or preserve Queen Antonia,
and it'll lead you to it. And basically it's not a, I mean, the first time you do it you might want to do that so you know where you're going, but pretty much she's in the same spot all the time. And obviously I'm getting a little lag, that's why it's taking a minute for it to come up. And basically you see there's the small rusty key, and there's the forlorn spirit. So you pick up the key, and then you're able to talk to her. See, it says speak with the forlorn apparition. So you talk to her.
I greet you.
You say, where is it? And then a horse comes up, and basically that's what you do. And you click on the waiting horse, and off you go. That was odd, don't know what that fireplace effect was for. So basically, as usual, this is one of those events where your mercenary is suspended, so if your character doesn't have a pet or doesn't solo very well, might be a little difficult. And obviously, as you can see, this is number one of the prestige homes you can buy. Obviously not as creepy, but it's also the same one that's in the Evernight cemetery at the use of the vampire event. You know, the, I don't know. Anyways, there's an event, and North Qeynos. He sends you on this mission basically to get eaten by the vampire. But so yeah, it's the same building. So basically, as you can see, the key is you got to find the memories for this apparition, and you want to take a note of which one and where these are, because as you'll see at the end of the fight, or excuse me, at the end when you go through the boss fight, you'll have to click on these before you can damage the character, and you'll see that shortly. So let's go ahead and collect the different things. So this first one's the dagger. Oh yeah, I guess I should have mentioned this before. Mentioned it on the haunted house event. In the haunted house event, most of the things aren't aggro to you, meaning they won't attack you when they see you. And that's kind of important in this one. Everything in here does attack you. And that's kind of important because where you do the end fight, you want to make sure that you've already cleared those creatures so they're not additional trouble for you when you're trying to do the fight. So on the entryway, that's the memory of the seed. I should have mentioned that earlier. And that's the dagger. This one is the memory of rivalry. And the little sayings and the little storyline. It's kind of cool. Kind of gives you a reason why you're in here. Now, of course, there's nothing in this room per se to pick up for any of the memories. The reason I'm doing this first is so I don't forget, like I did on one of my other characters. So I don't forget to clear this room before the end fight. I don't know why they have these spoken spirits in here. I don't know, some new thing that pops in. Sort of like those annoying shadows in next to those floors. Anyways, as you notice in this room, because this is where the last fight's gonna occur, the boss fight basically, you see all these bottles. It's good to note where they are now because you'll be breaking every one of them. And when you do that fight, I would suggest as soon as you can, get behind the bar. You can target almost every other bottle in this room from behind this bar, but if you're behind the bar, the Furious Spirit at the end won't be able to hit you and allow you to break the bottles, otherwise you'll be having a rough fight. Okay, and this is where Agony is. Again, gives a little story about what's going on. Okay, it's good to note that this bookcase that's on the very bottom. First time I went through, it's pretty hard to see, so just give you an idea where that scroll is. And that's the honor. Again, another little bit of background story about why you're in here. know why I find it amusing that one of the, well, not one of, but the drop of candy for the rats is jelly beans. That's kind of humorous. Okay, so other than the boss fight, that is thankfully the last creature in here. And what we're looking for is right over on this bed. It's a little hard to see, but it's the rose. And that is the memory of betrayal. Okay, so real quick, what you're gonna see. Let me adjust my Windows settings. Alright, sorry I had to adjust that on the fly, but basically, just as you see on your other characters here, the different effects that are on them. When we're fighting that furious apparition, the very first thing that's on them is going to be the mark that you need to find, so you want to pay attention to that. Well, the first time I did this fight, it was a real pain. I didn't know where to look. And almost, well, actually my character did die, so just to make it a little easier for you, if you go through this, that's where you're looking for. And depending on where you have the fight, it blocks you out from going anywhere else, so make sure your pet follows you, otherwise it's a real pain in the butt. And probably what you want to do is take off the protect me and protect yourself, and then do the pet back off so it follows you. You'll see what I mean when we get to that fight. Okay, you saw as we hovered over there, it's Memory of Honor. And that is a scroll in the bookcase upstairs, so we'll try and get up there real quick. Yeah, and for some reason you get turned into a spirit. I didn't quite figure that out either. Anyways, you grab the scroll, and now you can start wailing on her. keep an eye on that. Remember, because when it changes, it's time to go to the next area. But I believe she also says something that'll tell you to go to the next one. Yeah, see? So now we go to deceit. And you gotta watch it too. Sometimes it's a little hard when you hover over those. Sometimes you don't get the little hand, so you gotta move it around a bit. I don't think it's a real big deal that your character's gonna die, but just something to watch for. And yes, it's gonna take a long while to get him down, or get her down to the final part of the fight. But yeah, she will elicit another phrase when it's time to switch to the next one. But when we get to the rooms, you'll see what I mean about making sure if you have a pet that it's inside the room with you. Otherwise, you get locked out. That's just a big old mess. Okay, there she goes, and it is Betrayal, which is upstairs. Betrayal. Yeah, that's the rose. Okay, so we go up here. Now, see, obviously your pet didn't follow you. So call your pet back, come on. So there it is. There's a reason I say that. See how the hover's messed up. So do that. See, right there. If you notice that doorway is now blocked, you can't go through it. You're basically stuck in this room for the fight. Basically, if you didn't recall your pet, you'd be in here stuck, unable to do any damage to the enemy, and your pet would probably die before you were able to do anything. And then you're in bad shape. You're not a real good fighter without a pet. So that's why it's always good to use the pet back off to get it to where you are. Oh, and also, once that magical barrier falls, that's another indicator to let you know it's time to go on to the next mark. Okay, so now we come over here and we get the agony one. And you gotta watch it because of these floating objects. It's sometimes a little hard to see. So yeah, I backed up a little bit here so I can see that doorway. So when it disappears, make it a little easier to know when to go on to the next area. Okay, so now it's off to Rivalry, which is the room downstairs. Stupid harvesting pit getting in the way there. What's going to happen here in the next few moments is the creature's obviously going to say something else. We'll go on to the final fight. Which basically it's not even you attacking her at that point, you're just breaking the laws of releasing the spirits that are trapped in the house. Okay, so it's off to the bar. So yeah, as I said, there she is. As long as you're behind the bar, basically you can't get hurt. So basically start targeting whichever ones you want. You can send your pet on against them. Take them down yourself. And as you see, once it's done, it sends a little bit of an attack at her and takes her down. And then once you get them all down, once you get all the bottles broken, which there are a lot in here, the event will be over. So let's break some bottles. As you can see, you've been able to break all these trapped spirit bottles, but for some reason that one's the only one I've not been able to. Yeah, you're not able to see that target, so leave that one for last. You know, as I was recording this video, I was thinking, maybe I could just edit out the fight and just show you the end part. But I figured, if I gotta go through this pain of doing this fight, you can all stay on for it too. Oh, well, I guess I must have targeted that one by accident.
Greetings.
Yeah, obviously it says the quest level is 86, but I'm entered down to level 50, but apparently didn't seem to make a difference. Out of the 3 prizes you get, yeah, candy corn, unless you're really desperate for more candy corn. I mean, honestly, if you have a level 100 crafter with the pony that can harvest holiday events, it's not really worth it. I mean, I think honestly I got like 12,000 candy corn in my harvest depot. And then the acidic spider, I mean, yeah, another spider, really. Honestly, the coolest one is this crib, because it literally floats in your house. It looks really cool, just like the stuff that was floating in the house just a minute ago.
Well met.
And basically, that was the Broken Mirrors quest. Basically, to get back to town, you just go out the door and exit the abandoned mansion, and you're back in Qeynos, or Freeport if you're playing an evil character. Alright, well, I hope you all enjoyed the walkthrough of the Broken Mirrors new quest for Knights of the Dead and EverQuest 2 for 2017. I'm off to go collect more harvest off my ponies, and then I'm off to bed. So hope you guys enjoyed that walkthrough, and you guys have a happy Halloween.